Hey y'all, welcome back. So for today's video, I thought it would be fun to take a look ahead and talk about my most anticipated dolls of 2023. This is actually an idea that came from one of you guys. I honestly can't remember if it was on my last Dolls I Don't Want video or if it was on my 2022 year-end, one of my like tops and bottoms dolls of that year. I can't remember which video it was on, but one of you guys commented and said that it would be fun, instead of like doing a retrospective, to look forward and talk about the dolls that I'm most excited to come out. So with this being something that we're kind of looking into the future for, I don't have pictures for everything, but I have pictures where I can, and I do have little images of like what we suspect is going to be coming out that I get from Instagram. I'll have the credits in the description down below. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. If you guys do find yourself enjoying this video as we go along, if you could give it a like, that would be awesome. And if you are new here, maybe consider subscribing if you like what you see so that you can see more of it. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so talking about Rainbow High / Shadow High first, I am really excited for Series 5. I know we just got some photos of these, and it's very exciting. My two favorites are definitely Victoria and then Michelle, the kind of very light pink and then the neon orange dolls. Absolutely amazing. Y'all know I'm a huge Rainbow High fan, so like obviously I'm excited for this, and it's just very fortuitous timing that we actually got some photos of these dolls so I can actually show you what they're going to look like. But so that's the most obvious one, the most like near in the future thing from Rainbow High I'm excited for. We also are supposedly going to be getting a runway line this year from Rainbow High, which I am very excited for and very nervous for. This is probably going to be from the runway episode of the show. However, you never know, you know, with MGA, like they might just throw something else in the mix there. I'm hoping that it's the runway line from the show because I do think a lot of those outfits were very interesting, and I'd be very curious to see how they translate to a doll. Only time will tell if the quality is going to match up for what I think the designs deserve, but I'm very curious to see how that will go and cautiously optimistic about it. As for the Shadow High end of things, that's kind of up in the air. I know that there is some speculation that Shadow High will not be continuing as a doll series after this latest series that came out, Series 2. There might not be a Series 3, which is a shame because I do think that they're very interesting and fun dolls. So I would like for them to, you know, at least have one more line, or even just like a special release like the twins, the 2-pack that they did with the Storm Twins. Another set like that would be really cool. I'm not ready to see Shadow High go, so I'm really hoping that Series 2 does well enough for them to do something else with Shadow High, or just that the rumors are completely unfounded. That would also be really cool. So my hope for Shadow High is a lot less specific than Rainbow High. It's more so just, I hope Shadow High keeps going. Then I did want to mention Bratz. I'm not like the biggest Bratz collector ever, so I'm not always the most excited about their launches in particular, but they are working on getting out some pretty and punk reproductions, which I am over the moon about. I think this is just such a fun line. The hair colors are so exciting. The fashion is really fun. This is a line that I really regret not having any dolls from the original release from. Like, I'm sad that I didn't get any as a kid, and even if I had gotten them, I wouldn't have kept them. But, you know, like, I wish I had those original dolls, so I was very excited to see that this was a line that they were going to do reproductions for. I am kind of nervous because I feel like the image we have of Chloe, who is the one that I'm most excited about because of that orange in her hair, I feel like the image on her hair makes it look like it's more of an all over like yellowy orange tone instead of the blonde with the orange streaks. So I'm really hoping that the dolls look more like the original in that regard. A little bit nervous about that, but overall very excited to see how those turn out. Then I also have to mention the Disney ILY Forever dolls, the fashion dolls that recently came out. I got the one actual doll and then a couple of fashion packs, and I was just so excited and so happy with them. A lot of you guys in the comments of my review video for that were less enthused, and that is totally fine. Everyone just has their own opinion, so it's all good. But personally, I'm really excited about the line. I think that they had a really awesome start. There's still some more stuff I want to pick up. I just haven't had the budget quite yet to do so. So I think that that's really cool, and I would love to see what they do next. I don't know if they're going to be releasing anything else this year. That could have just been like the one thing they do this year, but I'm really hopeful that they'll come out with more fashion packs or more dolls. I think it was really fun and really interesting, and at the very least, I'm curious to see where it will go in the future, so that's something I'm kind of keeping my eye on. And then the last brand to talk about is Monster High, and there's so much to talk about with them. Oh my gosh. I know that we recently got images for the Honk Tour runway line. I feel like Cleo is like half good, half bad. I'm not a really big fan of Frankie, and I really, really like Spectra's doll. So kind of a medium excitement on that group as like a whole. But I am always curious to see what else they push out with the Honkator and Skeletor dolls. 99% of the time it either isn't something I'm interested in, or it's not something that I think is worth the price slash the difficulty of getting it. But I'm always curious to see what they produce, you know, because who knows, right? And then as far as the more playline, the G3 dolls, the first thing is Skulltimate Secrets. I know there are already reviews up on YouTube for these dolls. People have been able to get them at specified secondhand toy retailers. I have not been that lucky yet. I also would like to pay retail price. So I'm really excited for whenever these actually drop in like regular retailers or on Amazon or wherever I can get them easily. I know we've had like stock images for these for quite a while now. I've been excited for them for quite a while now. So this is very much like Rainbow High Series 5, where I'm just like, please, like I know this is coming, I just need it out right now. Very excited for those, especially the Claudine one. That's absolutely my favorite one, but most of them look really awesome, and I'm so excited. Claudine is also getting another playset that comes with a bunch of extra fashions, and that's also one that I'm very excited for. Again, one that we have all the stock images for, but it's just not in stock on Amazon. So I'm just eagerly awaiting, like I'll check that page every once in a while to see if it's randomly popped up, because I really, really like this. I think she's got some really cool pieces in here. So I cannot wait for the day that it finally says available to ship, but we'll get there soon enough, I guess. Bouncing back to Skulltimate Secrets, sorry, I'm kind of all over the place here. There are supposed to be more coming out. Like they've already announced 1 or 2 more lines of Skulltimate Secrets, even though the first one hasn't actually dropped yet, which like, it's definitely a vibe. A lot of them are supposed to be the same characters that we've seen in the first wave of Skulltimate Secrets, which is kind of a bummer. I would like to see more different characters getting extra dolls, or even like their first dolls. But I am still excited to see what they produce. You know, I still love like Draculaura and Cleo, and I think this Laguna is really fun, and I think this Frankie is really fun. So I'm happy to see them do more. I just also wish we could be getting other characters in there, but I am excited for what they do with kind of the main group for other Skulltimate Secrets lines. And then I know we are supposed to be getting a Skeletor in a Skulltimate Secrets line, which is interesting because her rumored price is much higher than the other ones, so she might be kind of like a deluxe one. I don't really know the situation on that, but I'm extremely excited to see her specifically, A, because she's a character that we haven't gotten yet in G3, so it's like very exciting to see how that will look for her design. And then also because she is more expensive, to see if she comes with more stuff or just like what the quality of it is. So she's one that I'm really, really hyped up to see. We also know there is a Monster Ball line coming. If you are on doll Instagram, there have been leaks for the Draculaura from this line. And there's so much like plastic and so much glare on the pictures that we have thus far that I can't really tell if I like her or not. But we haven't seen any of the other characters who are going to be in the Monster Ball line, and I'm very, very, very excited for them, especially Claudine, because I think that she might have, from the art that we've seen, something similar to what we've seen in some of her G1 dolls, where she's wearing like a tuxedo sort of outfit, so I'm very curious about that. And then always Cleo. I love Cleo, especially in G3. She's so beautiful, so like very, very excited to see what they'll do with Cleo there. I know, again, it is like the same cast of characters, but I have to be excited where I can, so like, obviously I'm excited for different characters, but I'm also excited for the old ones too, you know? But speaking of new characters, we are supposed to be getting some. We might get with another like core line of the Monster High G3 dolls. Abby, I think that Claude was also one that we are supposed to be getting, and then potentially also the Werecat twins. So like, that's some more new characters, and I'm really excited to see how they look in doll form. Some of these characters are characters that I really like. I'm a big Abby fan. I just like anywhere cat, so I'm really, really curious to see how those look as like actual dolls that I can hold as opposed to just art.
Editing me here to step in for a second because there wasn't as much speculation in that last clip as I would like. Since we were on the topic of new Monster High characters for G3 dolls, these aren't characters that, to my knowledge, have been confirmed to have dolls, but that I want to see. Spectra, we know she's in G3, so I feel like she deserves a doll. If any of you have been here for a long time, you know I love Spectra as a character. She's one of my favorites, so she's very important to me, and I would love to see her continue on into G3, not only in the cartoon, but also in doll form. And then also Venus. I don't know if she's in the cartoon. I don't watch it, so I'm not sure. But I haven't seen clips of her, so I'm assuming not. But I would love to see Venus in G3. And then also Honey Swamp. She has one of the most amazing designs from G1. I just think she was so fun and so unique, so I definitely think that she deserves a G3 upgrade, or just like an inclusion, I guess. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that in here because those are the characters that I want to see in the future the most.
And then lastly, we have a hairplay doll. I think it's been confirmed that it's going to be Laguna. I'm not sure about that. Hairplay dolls aren't usually my type of thing, but like I am curious to see what it will look like. There is also supposed to be a Cleo Denial playset. Not always a playset person, but it's Cleo, so like this could be the one time I make an exception. Who knows? And then also a BC's at the Mall 2-pack. We have no idea what characters are going to be in there, but I'm so down for Monster High. I just love the brand so much. I really enjoy G3, so I'm so excited to see literally anything that they put out, and I'm really curious where they will go with that. The only other thing I wanted to touch on in this video is the LOL OMG Fierce. There's not any particular OMG like regular line or tweens dolls that I'm chomping at the bit to get to, you know, that would merit being included in this video. But if you guys have been watching for a while, you know that one of my most treasured dolls, one of my favorite dolls, and actually my top doll from last year, is the LOL Fierce Neonlicious. So that line is obviously quite near and dear to me. I'm very like invested in it. I do know that there has been some speculation that it's just been canceled and it's not going to continue on, which is very sad to me, because they did have plans on doing Candylicious and then Kitty K. And I was ready, like I was really excited for this. So I'm really, really hoping, because we did see on Instagram leaks for photos of Candylicious, maybe also Kitty K. I honestly can't remember. But so they've obviously done some testing at least. And so I'm hoping that since they've gotten through to that point, maybe they will go ahead and just push those two out and then stop the line. I'm just not ready to give up on Fierce yet. I know that it was not everybody's cup of tea. And again, that's fine. Everyone can have different opinions, but I really am not ready to give up personally. So for my video, that's what I would like to end on, is that I would really like to see Fierce at least get a couple more dolls, just like a few more. I am curious about what like the tweens will release and the OMGs will release. I feel like I collect the OMGs probably least. I think that the tweens are my predominant LOL line that I collect, but Series 4 really left a bad taste in my mouth. So while I'm interested in what they might come out with, I'm a lot more hesitant with that brand than I have been in the past. So yeah, I don't know. Only time will tell. We will have to see. But those are the things that I am most excited about for 2023. I feel like that was basically just a laundry list of everything that we know is going to be coming out. Now that I've finished filming this video, I'm realizing that I basically just covered everything that is rumored to be coming out. My bad. But I'm excited for everything because I feel like you don't know until you see it, you know? Like you can think on paper that you're going to hate something and then you see it and you love it, or vice versa. You could think you're going to love it and you see it and you hate it. So I'm just excited for everything. Anytime we get a new doll release for any brand, I am just so excited to see it. So very positive video this time, I guess. I do hope you guys enjoyed watching. Definitely let me know if there are any dolls in particular that you are looking forward to this year, what they are in the comments down below. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or your night or whatever it might be, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.